let's jump into it. So, for you guys watching, I am joined here with Saxon. Saxon just closed off his month right around 5K appointment setting from his phone. He's a high-level footballer at the same time. Saxon, welcome. Tell the people a bit about yourself.
Hi guys. Yeah, obviously I'm Saxon, as Leon introduced me. I play for Western Sydney Wanderers in Sydney, Australia, the NPL squad. And previously, before starting appointment setting, I was working as a plumber. Working that 7 to 3 job, and yeah, it was something that I couldn't really find heaps of time to do extra training and push my dream goal of becoming a professional athlete. So I saw this athletic freedom by Leon, and I thought, I should give it a shot and see
Mm,
what it's about.
okay. So you're here now, obviously making more money than you were on your trade, working from your phone. A lot of people want to make that transformation, but not everyone does, right? Because a lot of people naturally, because there's a lot of bullshit out there, they have this skepticism, they have this doubt, but they let them hold them back. They let it hold them back from making a change in their life. Why do you think you did it anyway and you made it happen and you're here now?
Well, yeah, of course, I'm not going to lie and sit here and say I wasn't skeptical first time hearing about this, but I think even, for example, in football, you ask your coaches in anything in life to get a reward, you have to take a risk.
Mm,
If you want your team to win a game, you have to make a pass or a run or something and take a risk. And I think I know there's a lot of online, like Lennon was saying, that aren't trustworthy. And after having a call with him and hearing about the program, I thought, it makes sense. It just made sense, and I'm very thankful that I made that choice because I'm making more money than I did working 7 to 3. I'm working a few hours off my phone every morning. So
mm.
yeah, I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. Do you think, because I remember our call and you didn't love your current job, do you think it was because the situation you were in, staying in the same spot was actually worse than taking a risk, taking a step onto something online?
Oh, 100%. I was waking up in the morning thinking, am I going to do this for 30 years, 35 years? Like, I think it's more brave to actually take the risk
Mm.
than to go, I'm just gonna work like this for the rest of my life. I think, yeah, it takes bravery to actually step outside and go, I'm going to try something to, like, make my future better.
Mm. And once you were inside the program, going through the process, I placed you in a company. You were earning more than you were earning in your trade. Did that disappear straight away? Was it after a few weeks? Was it after a few months? Or when was the point where you realized, like, this is a way better option than my trade? I could do this instead full time.
Well, I think after the first month, I was obviously thinking, how long will this last? But I believe I've been in the program 6 months
Mm-hmm.
now, and it stayed very similar to that 5K
Mm.
a month mark. I think it's also up to yourself how hard you want to work.
Yeah.
It's like anything in life. Like if you slack off, then you might not. But working that 3 hour mark, let's say a day, you can definitely keep it sustainable
Mm-hmm.
for the long term.
Sure. So that's what. Don't test my math here because I was never the best at it. Six times five. What is that? 35? No,
Yes.
30. One of the two.
No, 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 no. It's 30. It is 30.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, 30.
Don't test my math. Okay, 30 grand in the last 6 months working from your phone, right? So you can look at the numbers, how much you're earning, but really what you should be looking at is like break it down into the hours you've worked to make that money. Because people can work six, let's double it. That's 60 grand a year. In a full time job, that's pretty bad,
Hmm.
right? But if you're working 2 to 3 hours a day messaging on Instagram, when people are working, I don't know, 8 hour days to earn that, it puts your hourly wage and especially your effort for making that kind of money pretty damn high.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the effort, um, the hours worked. If you look at it, break it down, it's nearly better than like a scholarship, like a football money. Like
Yeah,
3 hours you're only doing, and I'm at training for 3 hours or
yeah,
more even, and you're earning like nearly the same amount. So yeah, it's definitely crazy when you break it down like that.
for sure. Right. And money's great. Do you think, I guess the progression, the doors, this has already opened for you, but the doors it's going to keep opening. Where now, like say you were in the trade, you were kind of stuck in the trade. Now you've gotten into appointment setting, you've gotten into say the online space, into sales. Do you think that's going to open doors? It's going to make you a lot more money, like in the future down the line.
Yeah, 100%. I think I've learned skills of how to communicate with people, work in the team, even though obviously as a footballer you work as a team, but it's a team in a different way. Like
Mm-hmm.
communication uh, is massive, like with your team and understanding people and just, yeah, being on top of things and organized in a different sort of way compared to football, which footballers have. So that's the best thing about it. Like all these athletes that are wanting to join the program, all these coaches are looking for people that are hardworking, know how to work in the team, and you know stay on top of their
Mm.
their body and everything, which is massive.
Yeah, because to be honest,
It's
most people are lazy as shit. Most people, they have no drive, they have no real goals. So really, here's the way I see it, and here's the why these athletes that I work with, like yourself, get such good results. If you have the mindset, if you have the work ethic, if you have the competitive nature, if you have all of these things figured out, you're 50% of the way there.
oh, 100%. I think especially nowadays, I think it's if you work hard, you crush 90%, 99% of your of
Hmm.
everyone else. Like people are lazy.
Yeah.
Like everything's a bit easier. It's harder because there's a lot of distractions,
Hmm.
but it when you work hard, the results you get from it are massive because people aren't doing it, not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally all it takes. It's really like 2 to 4 months of just being locked in hard work to completely change your life. I did it a bit quicker. I did my first month. I went from in a kitchen to traveling the world in like 45 days. But really, in this day and age, it's so easy to learn skills that make you valuable, that can make you a lot of money if you're willing to go out and find the skills.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you with that.
Do you think getting into the program, if we were to go more technical here, being inside with the community, the group, all the support, the calls you have with me, do you feel like that was everything you needed? Do you feel like there was something we didn't give you, if you were to be brutally honest?
If I'm being brutally honest, I think it might sound cliche, but it was everything I needed. Um, if I ever had an issue, there was always someone to help. I remember, you know, if I ever had an issue with one of the modules or not fully understanding something, like being able to talk to you,
Mm,
like you always gave everyone time and wanted to see people get better, which I think, yeah, I think that's super important. When you have a mentor that wants to see you get better, wants to see you win, they'll take time out of their day to help you.
mm.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
always felt I didn't ever feel, you know, left out or confused on what was going on there. Yeah, it wasn't like this massive program when you buy it, they chuck you in there, and it's like, yeah, you just figure it out yourself. Like do whatever you want. No, like everything was in order, ready,
yeah.
and if you needed help, there was an option for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's definitely the problem with most online programs or whatever you want to call it these days, because they're doing it with the intention to get paid, right? I think the difference between what we do and why client success is so important is, say, like I've been where you've been, right? I was working a shitty job. I was on my feet while playing football professionally. We can argue and sit here who was better as a footballer. I'll back myself, but we won't talk about that too much. But the difference is like, I know I can help you. Appointment setting, sales completely changed my life. And I'm going to do everything I can to give you the time to support, I guess, your growth. So then at the end of the program, you can go and tell your friends how awesome it was, how it's changed your life.
Yeah, no, that yeah, exactly what you said.
Uh-huh.
100%.
Cool. Break down your day to day, because you mentioned like roughly 3 hours a day. Is that in front of a laptop? Are you locked in? Is that like messaging here and there? What does your day typically look like as an appointment setter?
I'd say yeah. So I wouldn't say it's a 3 hour block exactly, where you're just on your laptop and you're stuck to a desk for 3 hours. No,
Mm.
I would say I wake up, I text the people I need to text from the previous night or the new followers, as they
Yeah.
call touch points. Hit your touch
Yeah.
points. I hit them first thing I wake up, and then I'm kind of just whatever that day may be, whatever, if it's I want to go to the gym that day for my schedule, if it's extra training, if it's I want to make food, I want to go eat, I want to just go catch up with a mate.
Mm,
After I'd say an hour in the morning of just work, or even less, if you can get it done in 30, 45 minutes, really. But if I want to take my time and, relax a little bit, not
sure.
be 100% rushed, and then I'd say it's nearly 2 hours of just I could be at my home just texting if it's like a 5 minute period with
Mhm.
someone, and then there's another 5 minute period like 30 minutes later, whatever. I think it all adds up to around 3 hours, but it's definitely not a 3 hour block of me just sitting down.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Let's say you were on an A-League contract, you were making a shit ton of money with football. You say you didn't have to do appointment setting. You would probably be on Instagram anyway.
Oh, 100%. I think my screen time hours were disgusting.
Yeah.
They were disgusting, whether it was TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah.
So you're on your like, if you look at a change room when you get out of a change room after training, look at a change room and just look around one time. Just look around what everyone's doing, and probably 90% of people are on Instagram on their phone
Yeah.
straight after training. Before training, everyone's on their phone all the time. You can't tell me that you're not on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
you're lying.
Sure. So, I mean, that means there's two types of people. The people that are using that time to make money, to not have to work a shitty job they maybe don't enjoy, or the people who are just on Instagram wasting time and complain about the job they have.
hmm Yeah, there is definitely those two type of people, and yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Most people complain, and
Yeah.
it's easy to break out of it if you want to be like in that 1% that just works a bit harder than everyone else.
Yeah. Here's something I always say, like, you never look back and wish you didn't work as hard. Like, do you regret taking this step, or are you thankful you jumped in when you did, and where it's gotten you so far?
Oh, there's definitely no regrets. If it was a thing that became earlier, I would have liked to jump in earlier for sure.
Sure.
That's the only thing I'd say. There's definitely no regrets with joining the program. I never look back and think, damn, I wish I was waking up 6 a.m. cold and getting ready to go to
Yeah.
work. So there's definitely hasn't been any regrets.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'll say. Almost every single athlete that's between the age of 18 to 25, unless they're a millennial and they're closed off to this online space, wants to have freedom, wants to do something online, but not everyone does it. Not even everyone, not even most people take the first step. What would you say if 6 months ago you held yourself back, you let that doubt control you, you didn't do anything? Looking back now, is there anything you would have said to yourself?
I probably would have looked at myself and I thought, why did I do this? Why didn't I do this earlier? I think the first step is always the hardest in
Mm,
everything, especially with something new. Whether it's getting stronger, the first few weeks in a gym, you're like not seeing results, or you don't want to keep going back.
yeah.
But then after a month or two, you're like, damn, I could be looking different now. You look back and you like, why didn't I start this ages ago? I
Mm,
think that's with everything. So yeah, the advice would be start.
okay.
As simple as that. It's just start. Don't think too much about, oh, like there's so many client success interviews and so many people that you can talk about. And if you really are skeptical,
Yeah.
and after you shouldn't have a thought of like, should I start? Like, you should start.
Mm,
That's it. It's with everything in life. You should just start.
yeah.
Give it 100% and start.
Sure. I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to work with someone unless they are 100% like, they don't have to spend every second of the day doing this. They can have a job. We have people that have two jobs. They crush it their first month, but you got to put in the effort. You got to put in a percentage of what you can give. That's what it takes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to work with someone, or I'm sure you don't want anyone in the program that's, you know, because then it looks bad on you.
Hmm.
Also, if you want to just take anyone, then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy. Then they can go and say, oh yeah, Leon wasn't that good. I didn't make that much, but
Yeah.
it's not.
For
It's
sure.
not you. It's yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, what about this? Because I feel like we have enough. I'm not saying we're the best in the world, but in the last 6 months, I don't know many people that have more like testimonials and results than us, to be honest. Right? If we have all of these proof of people exactly like the person, say, watching this video, and they still have a doubt, do you think that's a doubt in the program, in the results we get, or a doubt in themselves whether they can truly make it work and they can show up to make 5 or 10 grand a month online?
I think at that point it has to be there has to be doubt in yourself whether you want to admit it or not.
Mm.
I think when it's right in front of you and you're getting the answer for everything, I think you have to then look at yourself and be like, okay, maybe I have doubt in myself,
Mm.
or maybe it's other people that are in your head saying like, oh, I've seen that athletic freak, and that can't be real. So then you're like, oh yeah, no, it can't be.
Yeah.
You're letting other people influence your decision that have nothing, that will stay where they are for the rest of their life.
Mm.
Like you'll have someone, your mate might be working 9 to 5, and he'll be like, oh no, don't do that. Like that's stupid. Well, is that the people that are going to be stuck doing that for the rest of their life, or do you want to, make that change?
Yeah. I always say don't take advice from people that aren't where you want to be.
Oh, 100%. That's yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. Okay. I had a question, but I forgot my question. Let me ask you before I'll remember it. Do you think giving you more free time in your day to day has made you better, say, in your wealth, your health, your relationships, on the pitch as a footballer? Do you feel like not only the number in your bank account, but it's allowed you to progress as a man off the pitch as well?
Yeah, I think I definitely have improved my strength mainly.
Mm.
Um, my strength because I've had more time to go to the gym. That's something I was lacking personally in my game as a footballer, like speed, strength, power.
Yeah.
So whether that's going to the facility early because I can do that, whether it's just doing simple stuff at home, and then I think, the days where I was lacking energy and not getting 100% out of training, and I think it's very important if you're really wanting to be a professional footballer. If you've trained with professional footballers, that's their life. They don't have a day where they can't show up. So
Mm.
when you have the ability to maximize your energy and maximize how good you're going to be feeling before a training session, I think is key, because when you start getting exposed to that environment of professional football, you'll see that these boys can't miss a day. Like you can't have a day off of, oh, I don't feel that good today, or
Mm.
oh, I'm not strong enough today. You have to be ready, and I think it's given me the chance to be as ready as I possibly can to be exposed to that professional
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah. I mean, you've been there. I've been there as well when I was playing pro. And what I'll say is when you go to training after an 8 hour shift, working in a kitchen on your feet, you can't show up at 100%. No matter how many
Yeah,
coffees or Red Bulls you have, you're never going to be at 100%. You won't be able to compete to the same
mm,
standard. And
yeah,
when,
yeah, you might be trying 100%.
yeah,
You might be like, no, I'm trying 100, but your body is not at 100%.
yeah,
Your mind, you might be. So there's some days 100%. I was like not there.
yeah,
Like at training, I'm slacking off.
yeah,
But even the days where I'm like I'm giving everything, you're giving everything, but you can give more,
mm,
because if you weren't working the whole day, you could even give more, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah. It's like you did 5 sets of bench press at the gym. Your fifth set, you're giving 100%, but
Yeah,
you've just done 4 sets of bench press. You're not going to be able to push the same weight,
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's a great way to explain it.
It's physically, but it's also mentally. Like I don't know about you,
Mm.
but after a long day working on your feet just to fucking barely survive to pay rent, right? To then go to training when the goal is to kick a ball anyway. Mentally, you're out of it. You show up to the training. You're just going through the motions. Like you're not fired up. You haven't prepared properly. Your knees ache. Whatever it is, like it's not the same fire you have as if you can imagine if football was number one and the only thing you had to do outside of football was send a few messages on Instagram a day.
Yeah, yeah, and the energy, like I'm just saying, the energy. The one feeling I just would kill me was after a bad training session, or after a training session wasn't set up properly.
Mm,
That feeling mid training session, in the back of your head, you're like, I have work tomorrow.
yeah,
It kills your attitude,
yeah,
your desire. It just burns you. And now I'm like, if a bad training, everyone has bad training session. Everyone has bad days. You can't say no one has a bad day. But now I'm thinking, oh, I get to wake up, work a few hours again, and then the next day, let's go. Like I'm going to be
Yeah.
ready for the next day. But you're nearly playing catch up with yourself when you're
Yeah.
tired. You never really fully recover,
Yeah.
especially if you're you know, doing a trade all day and then training. It kills your mental like 100%. Or you don't get picked on the weekend. Like everything adds to the stress.
Mm. Yeah. And it's really like whether you're a aspiring pro footballer or not, the 1% things, whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch, is what's going to get you like to the top 1%. Right.
Yeah.
And I remember for me, when I was working that job in Sweden, I was like, my Sundays, I had to use one day to recover for the previous 6 days of training hard and work.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
like you wake up the Sunday morning, a week of your body aching, and then you have to recover. You can only do that many ice baths and fucking saunas. Like you can't get rid of a week's training in one day.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. No, 100%.
But I remembered what I said, what I was going to say. It was circling back to that doubt, right? Where if someone doesn't believe they can do it, because if we give you all the information, we've helped enough people, the doubt is maybe internal within themselves. What I'll say, first of all, I can't even do the math of 5,000 times 6. So if I can do this, if I can make 11 grand in a month as an appointment setter, I don't know, because me and Saxon, we used to play football way back under 10s, right? So that's kind of where our connection started. But I was an idiot. I didn't have much going for me. I was kind of just a footballer. So if I can do it, I would have the confidence to say really anyone can if they have the drive to work towards it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Do you say whether someone's restricted with their, I don't know, their academics, they weren't great in school, or their schedule, they're working a job, they're working 2 jobs, whatever it is. Do you think if anyone just has the drive to achieve more in their life and they show up for that goal, that they can make it happen?
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, like you said, we were agreeing that 6 times 5 was 35 for a second. But myself, even, I didn't have much going for myself. In year 10, I started a school-based apprenticeship, so I was only at school 3 days a week, and instead of going to class, I would sit in the library and do my work in the library, but, you know.
Just play Clash Royale or some shit, probably.
Yeah, exactly. It was just watch YouTube or talk to whoever was closest to you. And, I definitely think you don't have to be like some mathematician for these numbers to figure out what you're doing. It's very simple, and the program gives a guide of nearly what you say. Like what you have to say is not, up to yourself nearly. Like everything is given to you.
Yeah.
If you can copy and paste messages, if you can write a message, type it out, which I know everyone can, like you can do this. If you can read and type.
Yeah.
And not at a high level, not at some crazy Shakespeare book level or anything like that. But yeah, definitely you don't have to be some
for sure
smart.
I don't know any skill in the world that's probably more flexible, that has not an easier barrier to entry, because to get really good, to make 15, 20 grand a month with appointment setting, you have to be really good. You really have to understand sales. But to make 5 grand a month, make 6, make 7, whatever it is, we have people that come in the program and do that their first 3 weeks. Tell me another skill that can consistently get you there, messaging on your phone.
There's none. There isn't any. And perspective, 3 weeks of, in general, 3 weeks of a new job, you're starting that job. I don't think you get that much anyway.
Nah.
Like genuinely anyway. If you're a doctor, you're 3 weeks in doctor, but you're on bad wages.
Yeah.
3 weeks as an apprentice, no, it takes 4 years. 4 years for you to start earning decent money.
Yeah.
This is 3 weeks.
Yeah. And people think about education the wrong way, like online compared to traditional. Like traditional education, you go to school for I don't know how long, I don't know, 10 years or something, just to get like an ATAR here in Australia or whatever it is overseas. In uni, you go to uni for 4 years for a piece of paper, and that at the end of the 4 years, it gets you a job that you probably don't want to be in anyway, making 80 grand a year working for someone else. So it takes 4 years to learn that. We can teach it to you in 2 weeks, and you can make more money, and you can do it while traveling the world.
Yeah, it's just and the online space now is crazy, and people will tell you that are older, This is especially if we're skeptical,
Yeah.
your mums and dads, they're more skeptical because they don't know what
Yeah.
this new. It's a new wave. Like you can't explain it to someone that doesn't
Yeah.
understand it. That's older because they've never witnessed it. But we know we've all grew up on our phones. Like
Mm, for
we can
sure.
see what it's like.
It's the perspective of, if you don't know what's true, you're not going to believe it. Like, you can't explain to a fish in a fish tank what's happening outside of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
if they don't have the information, of course they're not going to support you to do this. But I think it really comes back to, your parents raised you, you value their opinion. But if they are not where you want to be, say they're in a traditional 9 to 5 job, the world's changed. If you take advice from them, you're going to end up in a similar position in a similar job, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the truth. It might hurt a bit, and it can be hard to go against your parents.
Mm,
But as Leon said before, you, it's hard to say to your parents, but you don't want to take advice from somewhere you don't want to be.
yeah,
And it might be hard, but like look and see what your parents are doing and how stressed your dad is when he comes home from work,
yeah,
just to put enough on the table
yeah,
or whatever situation you might be in. Yeah, it might be hard to make that step, but it's definitely worth it.
yeah. And that's the thing. Your parents raised you. They want their sons or their daughters to be better than them. That's why
Yeah.
they work hard, right? So I had a
Mhm.
guy that came to me. His parents just said no. They didn't support it at all. But he did it anyway. He joined the program. He made 14 grand in his first month. He flew across the world. Now he's in Portugal visiting his friends. I can tell you, his parents are not angry that he took this step and he believed in himself. He's making 3 times the money while traveling the world and seeing his friends. Once you've gotten the outcome, once it's changed your life, of course they are going to support you. But the last thing they want is their son to take a step in something and it doesn't work. But if they
Yeah.
don't have all the information, they might hold you back. So really, it's either giving them the information that this does work, that this can truly help you if you're looking to do it, or you just do it anyway. And then once you've achieved it, you say, here, look, here's my bank account. What now?
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's not just in this space, like professional athletes. Um, what's another one? YouTubers, like all that
Yeah,
online space. Their parents, you hear every single story. It's yeah, my parents like didn't want me to do this. They
yeah,
hated me for not hated me, but they were like, why don't you get a normal job?
yeah,
And then they're all now kissing their ass
yeah,
for their family members are like, wow, like they're not definitely not mad at them now. That's for
yeah.
sure.
No, for sure. Cool. What's down the line for you? I know you're chasing a big, like, 8K month roughly with the company you're working in. Give a quick context on the company you're with, what it looks like, the 3 hours a day you're spending. Just a bit of context on the company, I guess.
Yeah, so I work for a company that sells a fitness program to consultants, but not only consultants, but traveling professionals. So I talk to people that mostly travel for work or just travel for themselves, even can be personal travel, or even busy schedules. You work long hours, you don't have time, or you're lacking the energy
Mm,
to make the step in your fitness. So that's the people I sort of conversate with on a day to day,
sure.
and we're on track for our biggest month yet, which is huge for the company. Which we've recently brought in an assistant coach a month or two ago to help because we're getting a lot of people on board,
Very nice.
and it's been growing steadily. And the coach that I've worked with has been very supportive, very understanding. When I first came in to as an appointment, said it can be a tiny bit daunting, even when you have all the practice in all the tools, the first time you do something can be daunting. It's like
Yeah.
you train a week for football, the game, you can still feel like a bit nervous. So the people that I've worked with, and they've been nothing but supportive for me
Mm,
and made it easy as possible.
very nice. Okay, so essentially, to recap that, to simplify it to someone that doesn't understand all the language, you're in a fitness sport-based company. You sell for them. They market on social media, on Instagram, because people don't do ebooks and in-person events anymore. That's too old. So it's online. The company you're working with, they market on Instagram. They tell people to message the company to get more information. And that's where you're speaking to them. Essentially, you're booking them in on a consultation call, a sales call with the company, and that's when you get paid if, say, they work with the fitness company.
That's a good way to put it. That makes a lot more sense for someone that hasn't joined before, for sure.
Right. So
But yeah,
you're in a sales role. You're making this company way more money. And the reason you can come in and make $5,000 your first month, people can come to us, make 5, 6, 7, 10 grand a month, whatever it is because the only skill you really have to learn, if you're selling around fitness and sport like you are, you already knew this stuff as a footballer. You started playing football, I don't know, when you were probably like 6 years old. You already knew this niche. You already knew how Instagram worked, right? So the only information you were missing was just how to send these messages, teaching you a bit of sales psychology and how to type out these messages. We gave you that in a few weeks, and then you were making this sort of money because we just filled your gap in knowledge and we handed you a company as well.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't even take nearly an athlete to figure out what you have to do, or you don't have to tell them what. If someone comes to me and says, because people come to me and say, I want to lose weight,
Yeah.
you know, if you've been in any sort of space of activity, you know,
Yeah.
okay, it's got to do something with your eating or you're not working out.
Yeah.
So then you ask a simple question, or what's been holding you back? Is it your diet, or you can't find time to work out? In mine, it's a lot of finding the time and energy after work.
Yeah.
Just like I was when I was working. It's funny, like when I was working in trade, I was trying to find time and energy to train. It's similar. I'm trying to, there's a way to do it when you have less time, when you can eat less, or they're at airports all the time and
For sure.
they need certain foods that aren't fatty. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if we were to go technical, appointment setting wise, you don't even give them advice. You don't have to be a specialist. The only thing you're really doing in the DMs is just asking them questions around their problem. In your case, it's traveling professionals that want to lose weight and, say, get abs. You're kind of just asking them, hey, how long have you been struggling? What's missing? Why haven't you figured this out yet? Why do you want to figure this out now? Hey, I hate to be forward. I'd love to hop on a call with you, right? The company takes the call. You get paid for sending a few messages.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally 3-4 questions. It's, what are your goals? How long have you been trying to do that? And then they're realizing, I've been trying to do this for ages. Then what's been holding you back? And then it's, do you have a clear plan of how you're going to fix this? And most of the time people don't. Then it's, then hop on a call with us, because that's how simple it can be. People may not even realize that they're in a struggle spot until you start asking questions.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And that might sound simple, but if you haven't done appointment setting, if you haven't got proper training, you're not going to understand this. But the main thing really is, if you haven't gotten professional training as an appointment setter, you are not going to get inside a professional company. These companies aren't going to hire someone who just learned off YouTube, who've done nothing. They want professionals. We train professionals. So if you want to get with a top company, you got to be like a top sales rep.
Yeah, and when coaches aren't coming and going, oh, there's some guy that messaged me on Instagram, I want to be my appointment setter, let's just hop on. It's not that you have to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be ready for these interview questions. If you've never done this before, people, you don't have an idea of what could be coming, then good luck, because they're interviewing more people from the program.
Yeah.
If you want to try to do this on your own, then you're competing against someone that's went through Athletic Freedom, knows the questions that are coming.
Yeah.
Also, the name is now getting out there a lot. Coaches know that I want someone that's been trained by Leon, not some random Instagram account.
100%.
So,
and here's the thing as well. When you joined the program 6 months ago, we didn't have these big partnerships we do have now. Like, we have 3 official partnerships with these communities, these companies that they have clients that all need appointment setters. That's how we're plugging our guys in, right? So really, you joined when it was probably harder than ever. We still got you there very quickly, but now the process is just smoother.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't hard, but I'm hearing the process is, very smooth. I'm hearing people, joining straight away, and then I'm hearing from or seeing videos of them making this. I'm like, well,
100%.
That's ridiculously quick.
For
also,
sure.
My phone's on 2%. Let me grab a charger. I was trying to get in between.
All good.
Let me.
Cool. We're back. Got your charger. To round it off, because I think we've gone high level, we've got technical, we've gone into where you were at before, where you're at now, what you would say to other people that may be feeling a similar thing, feeling like they could achieve more. if you were to give some advice, who wouldn't do this? Who shouldn't do this program? Who shouldn't work with me? Who shouldn't get into appointment setting?
Who shouldn't? That's a good question. I don't think it's up to who shouldn't in terms of what you do. It's if you're not wanting to put in the effort, then Leon's not even going to want to work with you regardless. But it's not like and when I say put in the effort, I'm not saying you have to climb Mount Everest. You have to work 3 hours off your phone. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to put in this massive amount of effort. If you give as much effort as you do on your 9 to 5, then you're good. I think it's if you work another job, you can. If you're worried about uni, you can definitely do it while you're doing uni. If you're working just a basic job, even I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's even people who are working a trade in the program.
We have people doing both, 2 jobs and uni and football. A guy called Callum, he's from the UK. He's in Australia. He's studying at an Ivy League school. He's a competitive athlete at that school. And he was working 2 jobs when he started the program. He made $8,000 US his first month, and he quit both jobs within the first month.
There you go. So it's not even about what. It's more about who you are as a character than what you do.
Okay. And I would hope, hearing that advice for someone who's gone through it like Saxon, if you don't believe you're the type of person to achieve success, I'm worried for you. Because like you need to have this belief that you are going to achieve more in your life. When I was working a job, I was like, fuck, dude, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life here. Even when I was 15, getting drunk on the weekend, and I was a complete idiot. I was a dropkick, we'd say in Australia. I still had a belief that I would be very successful. So you got to have this belief that you can get there. Right now, you're just missing maybe some like taking action, but also information. But I would say if you have that belief and you have a desire for more in your life, you have everything you would need to be successful.
Yeah, definitely. No questions asked.
For sure. Okay, so with that said, would you recommend this to someone, whether they're an aspiring footballer, they're looking to go pro, or they're someone that has somewhat of a sporting competitive background, they grew up as some sort of athlete, they're in the gym, and they're looking for more freedom in their life? Would you recommend this to them to take the same step you did?
100% recommend. And for me, I'm not like a big person that would want to get out there and back something. But when Leon asked me, can I talk to you about the program? I have no problem with trying to help other people as well. And if I was not here talking to you, then I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But I'm here, 100% recommend it. I wish, even though it wasn't possible, I know I was one of the first sort of join Leon, but I wish I could have joined earlier, or Leon could have started this earlier. But I'm sure you nearly wish. Yeah, I wish you never worked as a chef, but I guess you would have never got here if you didn't do that. So
exactly that. And I think a good way to end it off here is it's not who you are, it's not where you've been, it's who you are becoming, right?
Yes.
So the only thing you need to do is figure out your goal, get very clear on what you want. If your current 9 to 5 isn't your dream life, do not tolerate that just because it's standard, it's the norm. There is more you can achieve in this day and age. Figure out what you want, figure out a vehicle that's going to get you there, commit to it, and do everything you can to achieve that goal.
Yeah, exactly. And don't make it, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start at the start of the month, I'll start when I'm not getting paid as well, or when I have more time, because we all know that's just an excuse to prolong being stuck. Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I hear this, and it kind of confuses me, because people tell me they're busy, they can't do this now. The program, these skills, are to give you more freedom in your life. So saying you're busy is addressing the symptom of the problem. The real problem is you're not getting paid enough for your time, so you're doing 10-hour days. What you need to do is make more money working 3 hours a day, and then you're going to have the time. But attacking the symptom, saying, I don't have enough time, that's going to keep you stuck in that loop for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a perfect way to put it.
Right. So if you're someone that's busy, you're working 2 jobs, whatever it is, it's not easy, but if it was easy, everyone would do
it. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Dude, I think we've spoken enough here today. Is there anything you want to add? Or are you happy to leave it there for today?
Honestly, we spoke a lot. I'm sure if you watched it a few times, I probably repeated myself about how good it is and stuff like that. So I'm sure you guys have heard me talk enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just recommend that make that change today. Don't prolong it.
very nice, dude. Appreciate you spending your time where you could be making money, you could be booking calls, telling people about the program. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, sounds good.
See you, man.
Yeah.